and you see.
Yes, go ahead. What you say is so beautiful that I feel the need to record. Yes.
Yeah, that is simply that. It's it, it's so simple because look, sometimes I reflect about why Africa is still where it is with all the potential, with all the resources, human resources. Our population is very young. We have everything anyone could dream of. But why are we behind? Why? And when you hear that 30 or 40 or 50 years, half a century ago, there were Asian countries which back in the time were even poorer than many African countries. But 50 years later, you see the difference. And what, let me tell you something. Today, I had a call with a client, and she paid for her daughter for to assist her for something. And she told me, look, please, if my daughter asks you something, just tell her that you've been referred by someone we all know because you assisted his son getting opportunities. And I said, why that? And she said, because she doesn't believe in those things like there are people who are smarter or maybe like who could help with her anyway get good result. So she thinks that it's all about maybe working very hard, degrees, and all those things. And I say, look, this is, in my opinion, one of the reasons why we are still behind. Because we judge too much and too fast. We only believe in what we see. We don't think in terms of outcome, in terms of result. Because when you think in terms of result, you just reverse engineer to use the right approach that will give you that result.
That's true.
And it for me, it is a proof that most of us as Africans, we are still not free in our mind. And this is also due mainly to education. And we have the power here to start changing things.
Oh, it is so beautiful. So, so beautiful. We do have the power to change everything and to change the course of our life totally. And you know what? It all comes down to our consciousness. And I read something yesterday which really sank in my mind. It is really in the book called The Power of Awareness. He said, a man's consciousness is all that he thinks and desires and loves, and all that he believes is true and consent to. That is why a change of consciousness is necessary before you can change your outer world. Rain falls as a result of a change in the temperature in the higher region of the atmosphere. So, in like manner, the change of circumstance happens as a result of a change in your state of consciousness. It is so beautiful. See, results are always telling the truth. Results are always telling the truth. Bob Proctor used to say that. Like if you are doing something and you're not getting results, you gotta quit doing it because results are always telling the truth. And results is the reflection of what is going on inside. So what is going on inside becomes to be our results. You know what? Neville Goddard said something. He said, we only limited by weakness of attention and the poverty of imagination. See, we so lucky nowadays. We trust our senses that we think that beyond our senses there is nothing else
Mhm.
to take into consideration. But we're greater than our physical senses. We're more than our senses. And this generation want to change this pattern. We truly want to change how our thinking pattern because that's our superpower. We need to change how things are going on. And it's not really about, it is good to graduate with great degrees, okay? But we have a lot of people, a number of people, I mean, out there in the world who graduated with, I mean, great degrees from prestigious universities, but they are still broke.
Yeah.
They are still broke. That means a lot. It means that beyond our degrees, there is something controlling us. It is a paradigm. And it goes back to our childhood. You put it very well. And the education system contribute greatly to that.
Mhm.
Like people have been, shaped to think in a certain way. And if you do something extraordinary, they'll just get, I mean, eh, they'll be astonished and they'll be thinking about it because they do not internalize, they do not think that it is within their reach. But we've been given the same potential, I mean, the same higher faculties that we have to tap into it and to change the course of our life. It is within every one of us, everyone. We've been created by God's image. Therefore, we're creative. Anyone can create. And that's what we're here for. We're here to create our life, to live life in our own terms, and become whatever it is that we desire to become. See, once you become aware of the greater power, I mean, something magnificent will start changing in your life. I mean, when you really tap into the power of your consciousness, your awareness, believe me, your whole life will be transformed. And things will change so fast for you. But for that to happen, you got shift your whole belief system.
Mhm.
You got shift your whole belief system, how you view the world. What is your perception about the world? We've been taught that we don't have the right to do certain things. We've been taught to believe in a certain way, which is not serving us. We got to get rid of it and build something new, absolutely new, which serves us, which compels us to get results. Result must stick. That's what it is about. And you talk about the truth has set you free, Dr. Meda. It is so, you know what? I truly love it. See, Um, the great, it is the beginning and the great secret is a control imagination. And we've been talking about it very shortly, right? The great secret is a control imagination and a well-sustained attention firmly and repeatedly focus on the feeling of the wish fulfilled until it fills the mind and crosses all other ideas out of a consciousness. What greater gift could be given you than to be told the truth that will set you free? The truth that sets you free is that you can experience in imagination what you desire to experience in reality. And by maintaining this experience in imagination, your desire will become an actuality.
Mhm.
It is so powerful. We play with our imagination, and most of the time we're not using it. But we got it to be, to work for us. We can use our imagination, which is such a powerful, I don't even know how to describe it. Without our beautiful imagination, I don't know what kind of world we'll be living in. Nothing will happen without our imagination. It is everything. It is God within us. And it is described in this book as Christ. Christ, I'm going to tell you, this book describes our imagination as Christ. Can you imagine that? Which means that everyone has it.
Yeah.
So, isn't it a beautiful time to dive into such a powerful faculty that we've been given? So, uh, I'm going to turn it over to you, Dr. Meda, for the word of introduction so that we really dive into this magnificent concept, which is imagination. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach Jerome. And good evening, everyone. And welcome to this week's Positive Mindset Institute section. So, as you know, I'm Dr. Medaka Fuchone, and I'm delighted to once again be joined by Coach Jerome Agoyon, who will share his insight with us tonight. So, what is our topic? Our topic is imagination, the workshop of the mind. And in Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill describes imagination as the place where every plan, idea, and invention is first shaped before it becomes reality. Everything that exists around us, be it business, technology, solutions, whatever it is that exists, was first imagined by someone. So tonight, we are gonna reflect on how to use imagination, not just for daydreaming, but as a powerful workshop where we designed the future we want. We'll explore how imagination fuels creativity, unlocks new possibilities, and becomes the starting point for success in any area of life. So I want to thank you again, everyone, for joining us once again for another powerful section. Your consistency and commitment are truly appreciated. Really. So, Jerome, over to you. for the show. I can't wait.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, dear Dr. Meda, for your beautiful word of introduction. I truly appreciate. Uh, See, I wanna extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the attendees. If you are new here, we come together here to share insights, okay, tips, which help us to really maximize our resource. Because as we used to say, results are always telling the truth. And we here really to transform our life and be role model, okay, for our generation. So if you are here for the first time, I wanna welcome you and uh, get a piece of paper and a pen to note. And if you have a question, please don't hesitate to ask after I mean, the talk. So we've been talking, yes, we've been talking about the concept of imagination. But before you gotta use it, you got to be aware of the fact that you you already possess it, right? Uh, and I'm gonna start this session with my own example. See, way back in my childhood, I always think that I thought at that time that um, I, I am different. Like life is about contribution. And I always thought that I'm gonna bring something new. I'm gonna contribute in my way to something new. Like I'm not going to drift. Like nowadays, a lot of people are drifting. I'm not going to follow the masses, right? And I thought that I've been given some higher faculties. Believe me, I was not introduced to this material at that time. Can you imagine? Since my childhood, but I had been always thinking that something magnificent will come out from me or will come out of me as my contribution. I always believe in that. I don't know, but for some reason, I really believe in that. And in the course of time, I detached myself. I never accepted my reality. Never ever. Like I never considered myself like I am a leader. I mean capable of achieving nothing. I could go further. I couldn't go further. I mean, I was destined to suffer, to be poor, etc., etc. I never see myself like that. I always see myself as capable of achieving everything, everything. And I always wonder why is it that some are doing well in life, but others are failing. I always wonder, I always ask myself such a question. And over the time, I've come to realize that we've been given some higher faculties, okay? But one of them, which is imagination, is so powerful. Actually, is our worship. It is the worship where we shape our destiny. So right now, if you want to change your destiny, to really change the course of your life, and I'm serious, I'm not joking. If you want to change the course of your life, I want to beg you to use your higher faculties, your imagination, because this is your worship where you shape your destiny. It is our worship. And you got to be careful about how you use it. Because as we saying, we've been programmed to live the way we live in. And so the kind of, because we have two types of imagination, we're gonna talk about it later on. But the kind of imagination most people are developing is really attached to the old programming, to the old paradigm. And this is very dangerous. Why? Because you are using wrongly your imagination. If you are seeing yourself in strategy, in, let's say, in all negativities, if you are seeing yourself in bad situations like disease, challenges, problems, right? You're not getting along with your parents, with your clients, with your colleague, etc., then you are using your beautiful and powerful imagination, but in the wrong way. So that means that you're gonna get negative results. So to change the course of our life, we've been given a powerful tool, which is the imagination. But before that happens, before we operate, we want to make sure that we alter our paradigm, our programming. It is critical. This is the starting point for achievement. And you gotta be real. You gotta be, see, authentic toward yourself. That this is what I really want. Like he said, I forgot his name. I'm not connecting to his name, but I'm gonna remember later on. But he said, in the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing a daily trivia until we become enslaved by it. So you wanna clearly define your goals, what it is that you really want. When you define clearly in all your works, in all the works of your life, what you want, then you change, you alter your programming according to your goals. So you raise, you upgrade your standard. And once you do that, you can start using your imagination. Your imagination is that you see yourself. Like right now, you can see yourself in other places. It will take you to the places where no one ever been. You can see yourself right now in the USA. You can see yourself in perfect health. You can see yourself in perfect body. You can see yourself in perfect appearance. You can see yourself in perfect situation. You can see yourself right now in abundance. You can see yourself enjoying lasting success because you've been given the ability to see yourself. But don't trust your senses. We so locked in, we so attached to our senses. See, smell, hear, touch, right? We gotta see something different. And it is within, I mean, everyone. It is within, it is within our wish. Like you do not need a permission from anyone before using it. Why are you delaying? Don't delay to use it for your good. So if you want something, I'm gonna tell you the way you wanna, because realities would dictate the contrary, right? Of what we're saying here. I mean, to your let's say uh, to your perfect life. I mean, that would be reality will tend to prove you the contrary when you start this experience, this journey, right? But if you stay course, if you persistent, believe me, you're gonna get results. So how to use your beautiful imagination is always to see yourself as if you already have whatever it is that you want. See yourself. Let me tell you an example. If you want to travel, really, uh, you gotta make everything ready. You gotta get ready. The, I mean, you can create your vision board, right? You can create your vision board where we put on, okay, some pictures, photos, or images, which will help you to see yourself in your final destination. And you get your suitcases ready, your gloves, your everything ready. If you do that and you persistent in, somehow out of nowhere, a way will be shown. Now, this said, our magnificent imagination, okay, is totally connected to the degree of our awareness. And awareness is everything. So, see, I don't even know how to describe it because it is so profound. It is really profound. I'm gonna tell you something. I created a program way back in 2023, but I was always visualizing, right? I was imagining myself delivering, providing or rendering my services to clients. And along with that, I was affirming repeatedly. But within 6 months, nothing happened. Nothing happened. And I was so shocked. But I never gave up. I persisted in using my imagination that it's already happened. Like I've got all the clients. You know, it stems from my consciousness, my awareness that time. Why am I telling that? Because if you truly think that you deserve something, that you are living in the end, that you really believe in the process, but your reality is dictating or is telling you the contrary, okay? There is only one thing that will keep you that will get you going. This is your awareness. How much credit do you allow or do you yes do you allow, okay, or do you worth your word? Like if you say something, do you really believe it? So if you truly believe in what you say, right, it will turn out to be a reality. So I persisted in that reality. I said, did I got all the clients that I want. And you know what happened? One of these days, somebody called me from Paris. He said, I want to be trained by you. And I am really interested in your service in your program. And it was, you know what, mind-blowing. I knew it would come, but I didn't know when. I didn't know when exactly because I was seeing it in my imagination. I was seeing it in my imagination at a time, I mean, at a certain time that it feel no difference, okay? To be without clients because I was seeing the reality in my imagination. I was Sometimes I was I said Zoom call and I was in Zoom call alone. Can you imagine that? And I was teaching alone in Zoom call. Someone will think that I'm foolish. Yes, because I trust in my imagination. If I see it in my mind, I'm gonna get it in my hand. All right? So the way we want to use our imagination to get results is that we are fully in. We all in. We not imagine. But few minutes later, we start complaining about the same situation. No, we gotta be all in. All in. Not just 10% or 50%. No, we just be all in. Really. And stay the course until it manifests. Use your imagination to transform your finances. See, see in your bank account, see money in your imagination. It exists. See it. It is free. See in your imagination living in a perfect body. See it. It saved me life. I'm gonna tell you. My imagination saved me life. Because I was dealing way back in 2023, I was dealing a kind of disease that I even ignore. I don't know why, but I did all the tests, hospital exam, etc., but nothing was revealed. Nothing was revealed. I did everything unsuccessfully. At a certain time, I thought I would die. Can you imagine that? Yes. And forgive me, I'm not against doctors. I really cherish them because they're doing such a fantastic job. But sometimes trusting them in everything they say do not serve us. Because I was losing faith. They will say, oh, this is very dangerous. So you need to be, and I will say, oh my God. So I started, okay, uh, let's say I started losing faith. I started believing in something different. And then an idea came in my mind that I gotta use my imagination. And I reversed the pattern. I started imagining myself in a perfect body. And if I am in a perfect body, what I'll be doing, I'll be traveling, I'll be enjoying life. And I started doing those things without waiting for the results. Here's another problem. We want to wait for everything to work out. I mean, before we all in, before we really dive into it. No, it's not gonna work like that. And he was shocked. The doctor was shocked. He said, how did you heal like that? Without any medication. because I use the power of my imagination. I always see myself in perfect body, perfect body. And I could never at that time allow no one, okay, uh, distract me from using really my imagination. I couldn't afford somebody or no one to distract me or to, yes, or to get me off track. I couldn't afford that to pay such a price. And here we are, I am in a beautiful body, perfect health. And this power is within the reach of everyone. We just not taught to use it to the right way. That's the problem, right? So our webinars are based on the powerful book of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. So we want to read the book, okay? We want to read a little bit uh, before diving into Q&A, okay? Question and answer. So I'm gonna share with you my screen. Imagination, the worship of the mind. I love the title. What do we do in worship? We shape, we create, we design, we redesign, we change, we transform in worship. So you want to transform something, get into your beautiful imagination. It will serve you. It is always faithful. Always. The imagination is literally the worship wherein are fashioned all plans created by man. The impulse, the desire, is given shape, form, and action through the aid of the imaginative faculty of the mind. See, the phone you are using has been created by someone who imagined it. The laptop you are using has been created by someone who imagined it firstly in his mind. Even the world has been imagined by God. God said, let there be light. Let there be light. Let there be light. Right? He imagined the light. Let there be light. It has been said that man can create anything which he can imagine. All of the ages of civilization, this is the most favorable for the development of the imagination because it is an age of rapid change. On every hand, one may contact stimuli which develop the imagination. We got beautiful tools to use perfectly our imagination. You have Canva, you have Photoshop, you can create anything. Through the aid of his imaginative faculty, man has discovered and harnessed more of nature's forces during the past 50 years than during the entire history of the human race. Previous to that time, he has conquered the air so completely that the birds are a poor match for him in flying. He has harnessed the ether and made it serve as a means of instantaneous communication with any part of the world. My goodness. He has analyzed and weighed the sun at a distance of millions of miles and has determined through the aid of imagination the element of which it consists. He has discovered that his own brain is both a broadcasting and a receiving station for the vibration of thought. And he is beginning now to learn how to make practical use of this discovery. He has increased the speed of locomotion until he may now travel at a speed of more than 300 miles an hour. When we get into airplane, can you imagine what our beautiful imagination is capable of? I always wonder how come that people, human being, create something like airplane. God, this is so powerful. When you are in the air, can you imagine how it feels to be in the air? And they created, the brother Wright created that just by tapping into the power of their imagination. The time will soon come when a man may breathe fast in New York. It has come, already come. The time will soon come when a man may breathe fast in New York and lunch in San Francisco. The time has already come, right? Man's only limitation within reason lies in his development and use of his imagination. He has not yet reached the apex of development in the use of his imaginative faculty. He has merely discovered that he has an imagination and has commenced to use it in a very elementary way. Yes, very, very elementary way. Two forms of imagination. The imaginative faculty function in two forms. One is known as synthetic imagination, and the other as creative imagination. Synthetic imagination, through this faculty, one may arrange old concepts, ideas, or plans into new combination. This faculty creates nothing. It merely works with the material of experience, education, and observation with which it is fed. It is the faculty used most by the inventor, with the exception of the two drones upon the creative imagination, when he cannot solve his problem through synthetic imagination. Creative imagination, through the faculty of creative imagination, the finite mind of man has direct communication with infinite intelligence. It is the faculty through which hunches and inspiration are received. It is by this faculty that all basic or new ideas are handed over to mind. So beautiful. New ideas. So this is how we connect to God. Because inspiration comes from God. New ideas comes from God. And imagination is the channel through which we get access to the source, the infinite source, which is God, the universe. It is through this faculty that thought vibration from the minds of others are received. It is through this faculty that one individual may tune in or communicate with the subconscious mind of other men. Can you imagine that? So we can communicate with other men through our imagination. This is so powerful. So we can make them serve us. We've not been taught to use it like that. And it was there. It was there. Okay? Waiting for us. It is through this faculty that, yes, I really, the creative imagination works automatically in the manner described in subsequent pages. This faculty functions only when the conscious mind is vibrating at an exceedingly rapid rate, as for example, when the conscious mind is stimulated through the emotion of a strong desire. The creative faculty becomes more alert. more receptive to vibration from the sources mentioned in proportion to its development through use. This statement is significant. Ponder over it before passing on. Keep in mind as you follow this principle that the entire story of how one may convert desire into money cannot be told in one statement. The story will be complete only when one has mastered, assimilated, and begun to make use of all the principles. The great leaders of business, industry, finance, and the great artists, musicians, poets, and writers became great because they developed the faculty of creative imagination. This is the secret of success. You got to use your creative imagination. Whatever it is that you want to bring forth, you want to create, use your imagination. If you want to buy something, if you want big money, imagine that, having it. When you, this is how it operates. When you go there, frequently, very often, you will start getting an idea or ideas. Ideas will start flowing through and through you. And when you implement the ideas, you put into action the ideas, then you're gonna get the equivalent, the counterpart of the equivalent reality, right? But you don't go just for once. You gotta go there every single time because it is your workshop. If you want, in reality, if you want to ship something, you want to create something, but you just go once in your workshop, do you think that you're gonna get it done? I don't think so. So you need to go there very often, regularly. I mean, daily, to get your creation done, to get your plans performed, done, to get your ideas done, to materialize anything that you desire to manifest. Both the synthetic and creative faculties of imagination become more alert with use, just as any muscles or organ of the body develops through use. Desire is only a thought, an impulse. It is nebulous and ephemeral. It is abstract and of no value until it has been transformed into its physical counterpart. While the synthetic imagination is the one which will be used most frequently in the process of transforming the impulse of desire into money. You must keep in mind the fact that you may face circumstances and situations which demand use of the creative imagination as well. Yes, we always facing situations, challenges, adversities, which compels us to use our creative imagination. And if we're not accustomed to that, then comes in the great battle. Great battle. You see, you know what? If somebody is constantly dealing with a situation, no matter what it is, that is hindering him, okay? I mean, preventing him from moving forward or getting ahead, go to check, and you're gonna find out that the person is not using properly his creative imagination, for sure. Because we have the tendency to find that we can sort out everything just by our physical capability or intellectual, yes, intellectual capability. I mean, intellectual ability. But it's beyond that. It's beyond our intellectual mind. It's beyond that. I mean, where it's far beyond that. Whenever I have a situation, I will definitely use my creative imagination. Definitely. Because I know that it is faithful and I can rely on it. It will never betray you. Never ever. Your imaginative faculty may have become weak through inertia. Yes, it can be revived and made alive through use. This faculty does not die, though it may become quiescent through lack of use. Center your attention for the time being on the development of the synthetic imagination because this is the faculty which you will use more often in the process of converting desire into money. Transformation of the intangible impulse of desire into the tangible reality of money calls for the use of a plan or plans. These plans must be formed with the aid of the imagination and many with the synthetic faculty. I'm gonna pause there and allow people to share with us their takeaway. Uh, but most importantly, to share the experiences about how they use imagination, the beautiful imagination, creative imagination to solve problems. See, we living in a world, we live in a physical world that we need to solve problems. We need a result, tangible results. And only our creative imagination can help us to deal with. If if you neglect your creative imagination or forget about it, if you forget about your creative imagination or you neglect it, sooner or later you will be disappointed because you will never go further without using your beautiful and creative imagination. This is your faithful, friend that every time you want to use it to get things done for your good. So I'm gonna pause there, Dr. Meda. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jerome, for sharing your personal story, beginning with your personal story, and also reading and commenting the word from this legacy of wisdom, think and grow rich. And it's a so important topic. You touched some very key point, like why most people, not most people, obviously, but why a lot of people nowadays are just following the masses. They are drifting. And I would say that we need to be careful about the influence, the external influence. This is really important. You know, sometimes you see people who are very passionate about listening to melancholic songs, melancholic gospel. Oh my God, my husband left me. My kids are this. Uh, I don't have money, poverty everywhere. Please stop listening to those songs because it is also part of this conditioning we are talking about. It's important. Everything you consume, starting from now, I think that we all here in this community, we should pay critical attention to what and who we let into our mind and our personal space, who we allow to influence us. And when I said influence is not only conscious influence, they are also unconscious influence. This is very dear to me because that's something I notice more and more and more and more. I know personally people who every time listen to those type of songs and now they wonder why their life is miserable. It's just there because it is what you feed your mind with that is gonna return to you. Now, you like I hear some of you wondering, okay, is it so simple? So if it's so simple, why are we not like everyone is not doing it? It is simple, but in the same time, not that simple. Why? Because, and Jerome, you said it very well. You need to have clarity. Clarity is important. There are a lot of folks out there. If you ask them the simple question, what do you want? Where do you see yourself in the future? That simple question, they are not able to give you a clear answer. So those persons are more susceptible to drifting. They will just follow the trends. They will follow uh, the crowd, basically. Getting clear about what we want, setting clear goals. I would say is mandatory if you want to really to leverage the power of imagination because it needs focus. It's high precision. It is surgical precision tool. It's like a laser. You need to be really specific. Otherwise, you will not get the result. And that is why a lot of people they are not getting result because they are not targeting very precisely what they want. Because why? They don't know what they want in the first place. And there are a lot of mental barriers that we've got to get rid of. The barriers of you can't do it. This is impossible. No one could do it. You are daydreaming. You cannot do it. You are not that good. You are not the best. You are not enough. I'm sure that everyone here have heard those criticism or comments at least once in their life. Pay attention also not to let those words affect you. What I mean in simple words is do not believe when anyone tell you you cannot do it. You are not good enough. No, no one could tell me I'm not good enough or I could not do it. I have the cards. So why would anyone tell me? Of course, anyone could say that, but me, I'm not following that. I'm not believing in that. And it's what I'm urging you all to do. But now, there is one thing you also said, which is about being patient. And I think also patience and detachment, because both work together. You've got to be patient, but ready. You've got to detach yourself from the desired outcome while taking consistent action, because action is also important. So you imagine your best future, but you act daily, because it's only through those actions that you will find ways, opportunities, you will meet the right people on your way that will bring you those opportunities to really change the level. So action is also important. I mean, basically everything is important. And now let me share with you a personal story about the power of imagination. But before I share this with you, I'm going to tell you that imagination, or generally speaking, brain or your mind, is like a muscle. It needs to be trained. You don't wake up one day in the morning and say, okay, well, they talked about imagination, then today I'm gonna manifest, I don't know, 1 million in one day in 24 hours, while in your bank account, you don't even have 10,000. You need to train it, because there is always this, I, I don't want to say cap, which is related to also somehow your reality. Because there are things that me personally, I could believe easily based on everything I've seen and everything I was able to manifest using my imagination, compared to someone who have never done it before. It will be harder for him even to accept the idea, and there come self-sabotage. So it's important sometimes to train your imagination, starting from simple things. Why not deciding this week to manifest a call from a relative you have not heard about for a while? Why not manifesting having coffee with a friend of yours you haven't seen maybe for a long time? I'm not saying you shouldn't use your imagination to manifest big things. What I'm saying is that it's a very structured process, and it's a muscle. You need to train it. More you train it, stronger it is. And now let me share with you this example. For those who know, this is something I really don't talk about, but today I really want to share it with you. I've never met my father because it was late. He passed away before I was born. And I had the only thing I had from him when I was growing up was a photo of him. And something happened, and then that photo was destroyed. So The only image of him I have is in my memory. And the 3 years ago, I've started looking for his photo. I asked my mother, I asked everyone. No one could tell me. They say, we don't have it. It's over 30 years ago. No one has this photo again. And what I'm telling you is very serious. This year in June, one day I said, well, I can use my imagination because I don't want to believe that in this whole world, there is no one living who has a photo of my father. And I started this process. Every night, I imagine that for some reason, someone told me, do you know this person? I said, where did you find this photo? This is my father. And I imagine it so vividly every day before sleeping. I did it for exactly 14 days. The next day, so the 15th day, my wife told me, I have a surprise for you. And I said, okay, what would that be?
Trying to
Surprise?
guess.
Yeah. And I could not find anything very relevant. And you know what? She went at my auntie. And do you know that my auntie had that photo, but she did not know that she has that photo? Because when she got married, that same photo I had, she had a copy and she went to her husband with that. So what I'm saying is 35 years or 36 years ago, and she still have, so she didn't even know she had those photos. And my wife was looking for something and she wanted to help her arrange things and so old stuffs. And she saw a photo album. And she said, well, this is a photo album. Let's look at this and see how the auntie looks like 30 or 40 years ago. And she started checking, looking at the photos, and she saw the photo. She said, I don't know who are those persons. Who are they? And my auntie said, this is your husband's father. And she said, that's not possible. He's been looking for that for years. Like, could you imagine how sometimes things happen? And when that day, and then she took the photos and she said, this is his legacy. I don't even want you to authorize me. I'm taking them. And she scanned those photos and sent it to me. And when she talked about surprise, I saw, let me tell you, in my adult life, this was really the second time I cried. I'm telling you the reality. And I told her, 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks ago, I decided that I believe in the power of my imagination and that this photo, wherever it is, whoever it is with, I attract it to me. And it is done. I believed in that. People will tell me, this is so stupid because you've been looking for this. You called people you know, you asked. Even my auntie, I asked her if she had this photo. And she told me, oh, no, no one still have those things. You know, it's very old and we don't have it anymore. But she had it, but she herself, she did not know. Could you imagine how powerful imagination could be? And that's why I was saying that it's important to clarify the goal. Because in that process, my goal was very precise. What I wanted is to get the photo of my father. Because I said I deserve to have it. This is my right to have it. So, wherever it is, I truly believe that as long as I could conceive anything with my mind, then I decided. And every night I will do it. When I woke up, sometimes I do, but that I did not do it consistently. But for sure, every day, every night, I visualize that. I imagine so strongly. I see it that I got that photo and I put a frame and I put it in my living home. And that is where precision is important. Even when you are imagining the thing, you need to be so precise. And I said, I didn't know who is it, but someone showed the photo and said, what is that? And instead of myself, my wife was the one actually getting the photo. And that day, she just stopped by there, like she didn't plan to go there. She was getting back home and she said, my auntie is, my husband auntie lives here. Let's just take a shortcut and greet her. She did not plan that. And she went there, and that day they were arranging things, old stuffs, and she took the album. So it means that this is so like it's really millimetric. So that day, if she decided, she said, for instance, I'm so tired, I'm exhausted, I will not go there, then they will like we will miss the opportunity of getting that photo. This is simple. It's not money. It's not career. It's not big thing. It's not something big. For me, it was really important. And 15 days, it manifested. And I told you that I cried. So this to let you know is not a weakness. It's to let you know, understand the emotion, the feeling I put in it. And I'm sure that's why it happened so fast. Because I put in it a very strong feeling. And I said, in my whole adult life, this is the second time. And the first time is the day I searched and found his grave. So could you see the emotion that is, for me, that is linked to that? And it happened. And today, instead of one photo, I have two or three. I have three of him. That is to say, actually, our imagination is even more powerful than, like, you cannot believe it. And when you start using it, you'll be able to open doors that you've never think even existed before. That is how powerful it is. You achieve things, people will think that you have something different. That is not the case. I mean, as a human being, you have nothing different, but you still have something different. You use that principle. So, that being said, I think that it's time now to listen to others sharing your experience, asking questions, and yeah, commenting or whatever it is you feel like sharing with us today. We will really appreciate. So we open the second part of this seminar, and so whoever is ready, just unmute.
Yes, Dr. Mida, let me offer you my congratulations because it is just mind-blowing what you shared. It is truly resonant with me and I truly appreciate. This is this is this is really the proof that what we're talking about is not a philosophy, right? It's not just a philosophy. It is a reality that any one of us can experience, right? Anyone can experience it. And it works for anyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So yeah, then we start. Who is ready? Dr. Muriel? Yeah.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, Coach Jerome. Good evening, Dr. Meda, Mrs. Adeline, Dr. Sulimana. Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to hear Coach and Dr. Meda. You said all, and I don't know what I can add. And thank you, Dr. Meda, for your sharing. Uh, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much.
And yes, and listening, Coach Jerome, reading the part of no, Think and Grow Rich. I also learned a lot, and I just want to add like some example, own example about imagination, because all is already said, and I can confirm that imagination is like a powerful thing that God put in us, so we can shape or design all of what we want, and this will be a great achievement. And I can also compare imagination like a prayer. When we imaginate, we are like in prayer, and that happen with God, because you know I rely on some sentence in the Bible um about some people, and the story said that God the owner of a farm uh came out at the morning and saw some people without job and uh, give a job to that people at the morning, and also this honor in the, I can say, in the evening also came out and saw other people without work, without job, and also give them the job. And at the end of the day, the owner, who is, I can say, the Lord, give like a same part of salary to every people. And the first person who have a job at the morning are like jealous about the other people. And what God said is, don't be jealous about my generosity, I guess. Or uh, I'm I'm like juste avec toi, how to say it. And you just to say that the first people accept to have a job and accept the contract and have at the end of the day what they they contract with at the first. And this sentence, this part of Bible, I relied on it to say that we have just to imagine what we want, contract with them, and this will happen. So if we are not like agree with something, don't don't um don't accept it. So we have to use our imagination to shape, to design what we want, and this will happen no matter or with grace of God. So we have like to be uh, précis about what we want, and it will happen. And for myself, I already use imagination sometime when I have an appointment or a conference. I use my imagination to like plan how this will happen, um, the person that I will meet, how I can exchange with them, and I plan in my mind, in my head, what this will happen, and I work on it, and the thing went well, uh, often. So it is what I want to add. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for for sharing your own experience. And yeah, it's I think it's really insightful, really, really. So this is something you already used several times, maybe for um in some specific situations. Now I think it's time to expand it to other aspect, including economic, productivity, and yeah, other things to achieve more in life. So, Joam, I don't know if you want to say something.
Yes, thank you so much, dear Dr. Miller. Thank you, Dr. Muriel. I truly appreciate your takeaway, but I mean your own experience related to using our magnificent imagination. Um, you put it a test and you get results. You've got results, beautiful results. And that's the best way, okay, to be convinced that it is working for anyone. Now you need to scale up. You need to accelerate your results with your imagination. And I remember as it was yesterday, the last time you asked a question related to how to turn your annual income into monthly income. I mean, how to be financial free. I'm gonna tell you that this is one of the best tools that anyone use. Personally, this is the tool that I use, okay, to increase my finances, right? Like if I create something right now, because it precedes the action. Before something will happen, your imagination will be put it into work before the things happen as you desire. So let's suppose that I want to create something and I want clients. I'm gonna be visualizing, seeing myself teaching or speaking to or serving clients in my mind. And I'll be doing it for very long time, right? Then, and Dr. Meda said it very well. See, if you rely on believing intellectually to something, it will never happen. That's what will not be taught in churches. Okay, believe, believe, believe. No. If you believe intellectually to something, it won't happen. But if you emotionalize and you feel the feeling, that's where you provoke. That's where you make things happen. So you gotta feel it. So if you want a specific amount of money, right now you can decide with your pen. And I'm not joking. You know what? The beautiful part of this of our community is that I'm not saying that to press upon us, but I'm not saying that to impress you, but to press upon you. Dr. Meda and I, we are serious. You see, he used the material and he gave his own experience. Myself, I always give you my own experience. Put it in a beautiful envelope, okay? The amount of money you want. I'm serious, Dr. Meda. And every morning when you get up, see yourself having that money. And see yourself doing, okay, enjoying your life with that money, because the amount of money you want, if you get it, your life will not be the same. So meanwhile, you are applying the visualization, the imagination technique. Don't stay in the same vibration, in the same, mood. So try to change your mood, try to change your reality mentally and emotionalize with that. I guarantee you, a way will be shown. Okay, so imagination is one of the beautiful and powerful tools, means to change your destiny, whether it is finance, um, professional, health, career, etc., etc. Okay, so use it for your good. Don't play with it. Okay? Don't play with it. Believe me. Use it. Use it very well. Put in on a piece of paper, clearly that I want this money. Thank you, God. And start seeing yourself with that money. And connect that money to what you will be doing. Okay? Your achievements. I mean, any material life you want to get, anything, right? And start feeling the feeling. Start feeling the feeling in real. Okay? And don't allow anything okay, to enter into your mind, disturbing you from, okay, that's, I mean, perspective. Once you do that, you're gonna get the result. So you know what it's worth, okay? You just need to amplify, to accelerate, to get results. That's how I use it. Let me tell you something. The other time I was imagining, I noticed something. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I noticed something. You know, it is not by your power. And in the Bible, it is said that it is not by your power that you're gonna make change happen. No, but it is by my spirit. And I didn't really understand this verse of of Bible. And the other time I was like a kind of working hard to convince client, okay, to convince client to join me, to join my program. But I misunderstood. And I asked myself, instead of compelling people, convincing people, I'm not saying to not do your work, okay? You do the work. But overworking, you know, overworking to make things happen will never make things happen. Because it is sending a double-minded message to the universe. It is like you are too attached to it, right? So you need to detach. So I was trying to do everything to make people join me. And at a certain point, at a certain time, I realized that it is not working. So what I do now, it is I visualize. And the last time somebody came, he called me. He said, "Hey, Jerome, I want to join your program." I said, "Where do you, where did you find my number?" He said, I just want it without doing any advertising. So my number one priority, not priority, but my number one action and stroke. If I want something, I'm not gonna overwork. No, I'll start by my imagination first. Then, if I I put I mean, if I do action, it will be in the alignment of my imagination. Then it will make things to happen. Otherwise, it will never happen. And that's why you will see people, they are struggling, but the results are poor. The results are very, very poor because they are not using their imagination. So this is the secret. The first thing you want to do, it is firstly your imagination. If you want big money, don't overwork first. No, first start with your imagination. Then you take action, and inspired action which align your imagination, and it will provoke things to happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jerome, for those very wise advice. And it is so true, because hard work alone is not enough. And otherwise, you know, in fact, what I realize is among the poorest people, there are two categories. There are the ones who are totally lazy, they don't do anything, they sleep all day long, and they don't get any result. But there is a second category of people who work very hard. They work extremely hard, day in, day out, but still they are broke. And those persons are the proof of concept that hard work is not correlated with high income, with riches. No. It doesn't mean that the wealthier people, they are not hardworking. No, it's just mean that hard work is only a fraction of what truly contribute to success, to economic success. And this is very important to be aware of that. So thank you so much for reminding us this reality, this truth. So now Adeline could not speak right now, but she put some questions, and the first is, when wanting to do something in life and being able to do something in life, I think they aren't the same. And for me, yes, you are right. They aren't the same. But I think that the second one is the most, I don't want to say dangerous or problematic, but that is where a lot of people get it wrong. Because, in my opinion, being able to do something in life, I am among the one who believe everyone is able to do what he wanted to achieve in life. There is nothing that is written for someone and others are unable to achieve it. Everyone. And what we are showing here is the process. It starts by getting it clear. What exactly do you want to achieve? Because somewhere you talk about practical example. I think I will maybe elaborate a few minutes, and then Jerome, you will add to it. So for me, you are able to achieve anything that you want to achieve. As like when, if you are able to think about it, it already means that you can achieve it, no matter. Even if you don't have all the resources, all the means to bring it to reality, you are able to do it. Now, what is the practical process? The practical process is contained in the first part of the question, what you want. It's important not to be confused about what you really want. That is the first step, clarity. So you write it down. You formulated it very well, what you truly want to achieve. And when you write it down, then you can start, I would say in practical sense, you audit. What do I need? And what you need, it depends on the goal. And based on that, you think, because this is going to give you a path to follow. When you know exactly what is the goal, then you know how to, sometimes you don't even know how to achieve it. But one thing is sure is that whatever you want to achieve, you are not the first person wanting that thing. There might be people elsewhere who have already done it. So you define your path based on that. But here is where it is interesting. You've got to visualize, to use your imagination, but how to do it? I talked about reverse engineering. It means, okay, if you already achieved what you want, what will your daily life look like? What are you going to do? What people are you going to meet? How are you going to dress? What car are you going to drive? What house are you going to live in? What city? The neighbors? All those things matter. And for me, you need every day, when you are visualizing, you are using your imagination, you need to precisely, in detail, think about that. You see yourself waking up in your favorite bed, a king size bed, luxurious, very beautiful, and you have your morning routine, which should match the routine of the people who have already achieved that. And you leave your house, you see your wonderful neighbors, you greet your neighbors, you take your car, maybe a Porsche or whatever, and then you do what you have to do. You imagine yourself dressing, and all those details are what make it more. So it's almost like you daydream, because that is what it is. You need to dream. So beyond even simple imagination, you need to feel it like if you were dreaming. And it's important also to surround yourself with the right people. You start connecting with people who already achieved what you want to achieve. You engage in a mastermind group, and that is what we do here. To be always in this vibe, in this mood, and then some then you get clarity over time, and then you follow the step, you follow through, and yeah, it will happen. You need to strongly believe in it. You act consistently, and it's gonna happen. It may take some time, but yeah, because Bob Porter said something very critical. He gave the example of the television, or I think the phone. It works with frequencies. So if you have a radio or a television and you want to tune it to a specific channel, but if the frequency of your receiver doesn't match with the frequency at which the channel itself is broadcasting, you cannot get it. You don't get the signal. So that's why sometimes it could take time because you are tuning. And then when you are tuning, then you elevate your frequency until it matches the frequency of your desired, your goal. And then it happens. So that is what personally I can share. And yeah, Jerome, I'm sure you have several things to add on it, and also the
thank
second part of her
yes,
question.
thank you so much, dear Dr. Meda. And you said a lot of magnificent things related to the question, and it's worth considering. It's worth taking into account. I just want to add something. It is true that wanting is different from desiring. Wanting will get you nowhere. Desiring, burning with the desire to get what you really want is what will take you. It is your vehicle, right? It is what will take you, okay, to get to where you want to be. I want to illustrate. See, Steve Jobs says something, okay? If you want to find your life purpose, because what you're talking about, Adeline, is your life purpose. Why you are here on this planet, on Earth, you are on a mission, and this mission is the one you assign to yourself, okay? Our life was not pre-written anywhere. Your life has not been pre-written anywhere, anywhere. That's why Donald Walsh said, there is no blackboard in the sky when it's written. Neil Donald Walsh, living in the first part of 21st century, who is, and you see, dot, dot, dot. So he has to fill the blank, right? So Neil Donald Walsh demonstrate that there is no blackboard in the sky where our life is pre-written. So your mission is the one you assign to yourself. My mission on this earth is the one I assign to myself. So I decide who I want to become. I decide totally. And Steve Jobs, so to decide about your life, you want to know clearly what you want, who you want to become, Mrs. Adeline. It's up to you to decide. Look around, okay, all the things going on in this world. Who do you truly want to become? I am not talking about who your relative want you to become, who your family want you to become, your neighbors, your friends, your colleagues, etc., etc. I'm not talking about who the society want you to become, because here is the things. Okay, we constantly battling, okay, navigating through who we really want to become and who the society, okay, imposes us to become. That's the challenge. And most people are getting off track because they believe in the society, they follow the masses, and at the end of the day, they realize that they are off track. They didn't feel their mission. They didn't, fulfill the mission that they desire, right? So I don't want for you to not get lost, okay? For you to not get lost, I truly want you to really have an accurate analysis about what you want. Be true to yourself. See, I decided that I will be teaching this material no matter if you believe or not. But this is my decision. And we decided, along with Dr. Mida, he's also fully committed. So this is what we decided to do. And we're going to do it. And we're going to be succeeding it because this is what we decide. And nothing can stop us. Nothing at all. Because it is a committed and irrevocable decision. I don't care who you are, what you think about me. It's not my business. It is what I decide to do. So take an accurate analysis about what you want, what you truly want. Who is this guy? Oh my gosh, I forgot his name. It was Wade Dyer. Dr. Wade Dyer said, if I want to be free, I gotta be me. Not the me that my wife wanted me to be. Not the me your husband wanted you to be. Not the me my parents want me to be. But if I want to be free, not the me my children want me to be. But if I truly want to be free, I gotta be me. So the first step is to be you. Who do you want to be? So once you know clearly what you want to be, okay? Don't look at the how. The how doesn't belong to you. No, don't look at the how. How is going to happen? It's not your job. It's not your problem. Don't look at it at first. Okay? Don't look at all. The how is not your problem. Okay? Just dream of your dream life, right? And clearly design it. Then this is the second step. Okay, and it is a quantum leap. I put in the chat. Steve Jobs said, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. Listen carefully. You cannot, Steve Jobs, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust the dot will somehow connect in your future. You got to trust that somehow the dot will connect in your future. Like somehow who you decided to become will connect. Somehow. You don't know how. So you have to trust that the dot will somehow connect in your future. I couldn't imagine. See, I told about what I desire since my childhood. I want to be different. And I was dreaming of teaching this material, becoming very successful with integrity and honor since my childhood. But I have no way to come in contact with this material. But out of the blue, all of a sudden, I traveled to Belgium. And one of these days, I was suffering. I was scrolling on, I don't know, YouTube, I don't know, but I think my email, and then came in a message from Bob Pluto, and he invited me to join a webinar. I'm going to tell you the story, to join a webinar. Okay, 5 days of transformation, free, and I joined. And at the end of the webinar, I may share with you let me share with you something so that you clearly understand what I'm talking about, okay? I'm gonna share you something. Bob Proto invited me to join his entire year program, one of his beautiful programs. And it was at that time 1,000 euros. I was in Belgium as a scholar studying there. And let me check. I want to share you the proof. And I mean, the feeling was so vivid, intense. It was like a calling. It was my calling. And he said, join this program. Join this program. He was inviting all the attendees. Join this program and you will never regret. And here we are. I was a student, okay, studying abroad, and I want to pay 1,000 euro for just one program. I don't think that many of us would do that. But I did because it was my calling. I'm going to share you the proof, okay? Just a minute, please. I'm going to share you the proof. Um, I think I sent the proof to, just a minute, please. Just a minute, okay? I want you to, I think the Puerto Galaga, receipt. Yes, here it is. Okay. So, well, okay. See, okay. Can you see my screen, please? Probably.
Sure.
Yes. Okay. You see, receipt. Okay. So I have the receipt in my stores in my I don't know, in the folder. So, but this is the receipt. I mean the email after I made the payment. Received from Proto Gallagher Institute. You know my name, Jerome. Okay. Received from Proto Gallagher Institute. You know? Can you see? Okay. So at that time, it was a kind of inflation. I don't know. But I paid 1,000 euro. So it's equal at that time, 997 dollars, because uh, I think dollar at that time, dollar worth 1 euro, a little bit more than 1 euro, right? And this is the date, December 2021, right? And Proto Gallagher Institute, right? Science of Getting Rich package. That's the program. So I I went in. Oh, I paid for that because I was feeling the calling. And my friend said, "What are you doing? Why can you afford to pay 1,000 euro just for a program? Are you foolish? Are you mad? Is something wrong with you?" But I didn't listen to the voice. I didn't listen to them because I knew deep down that this is what I want. This is what I dream of being for a long time. And I did it. The day I did it, it was like a door open to me where I get access to a brilliant people all over the world. And now this material is a part of my life. I can't live without this material. Believe me. And I'm getting everything. Literally. Sometimes it takes time, okay? It takes a lot of time. And I still have a number of goals that are taking time. But I'm convinced that they will manifest based on this principle, this material. Right? So how many of us will be ready to pay that price to get the material, right? So you got to believe that. That's what Steve Jobs said. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something. You have to trust in something. Your gut, destiny, life, whatever it is. So when you set a decision, when you clearly define your goal, your life purpose, what Napoleon Hill called your definite chief aim. Definite chief aim. This is where I will be for the rest of my life. Yes, this is your definite chief aim. When you define that clearly, then you set to travel. you engage fully, and somehow you're gonna trust that somehow the door will be connected. The door will be connected. Okay? So the door will be connected, not looking forward. No, but looking backward. What does it mean? It means that you can live as if it's already happened. Looking backward means living in the end, right? So decide what you truly want, okay? And don't base your want on your capabilities, your assets, okay? Your means. No, okay? You got to decide something really great that you get scared. That's it. And you set to travel. And you're gonna trust that somehow the door will connect. And then you will see the door will connect for sure. If you look backward, not forward, always you look backward. That's what I have to add. And Dr. Meda said beautiful everything. Okay, so try to put into action what he said. And additionally, okay, look, know that the door will connect, okay, and you look backward. You live in the end like it already happened. The world will be sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jerome. There is one, you talk about desire, and desire actually is the secret. And in Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill actually, he said, there is one secret. I'm not gonna say it, and you could discover it in the first page or in the very last line. I will not tell you, but it's up to you to discover on your own what is that secret that is behind, which is the driving force of everything, and that is desire. If you do not desire, and your desire is not so strong that nothing or no one could influence you, then it means that you will not easily find your life purpose. And what you illustrated, that is what desire, a true desire, can make you achieve. And most often, everyone around you will think that you are out of your mind, that you you are maybe we are Beninese people. We say you are under the charm, under a mystical charm or something like that. So a desire is really important, and that simple question looks simple. What do I really want? It's so simple, but it's so complex in the same time, because in the process of answering that question, you will realize that there are a lot of things you think you want because of the society. Because there is something that is real, which is the pressure from the society. Societal pressure is very strong. But when you ask yourself that question, what do I really want? That day you stop doing things just to please others. And I think this is decisive in finding your life purpose. And as we also saw, I think 2 or 3 sections before, it's possible to use auto suggestion. So you could craft your own affirmation and repeat it so that your life purpose comes to you, like get clearer to you. That is also something that is possible. And auto suggestion, we already covered that, and I think the videos are on YouTube, right? Yes. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So then I think if needed, you could still watch again and apply this principle, writing down your purpose in the present tense with clarity and emotion, repeating it, all the steps. I think we did 2 sections about auto suggestion. So yeah, this is really something that could also help in the process, depending on where you are in the path. So thank you so much. In the meantime, I think Vince's line joined again. And
Um,
Vince's line, I don't know if you want to say something quickly
we
before,
are over time. Yes,
yeah,
really quickly.
before we close. Um,
I just want to greet you and say sorry. I have data happen. That's why I get out and get in.
it's fine.
But I will watch in YouTube and
Okay.
I will ask a question for Mr. Meda and Mr. Jerome in the week for Apple to if I have question I will ask to Mr. Jerome and Mr. Meda.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Mm.
much. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
So I would like to quickly recap what we discussed today. So the session today focused on the power of imagination as a transformative tool for personal and financial success. And Coach Jerome shared his journey of using imagination to manifest clients and heal from illness, emphasizing persistence, clarity of goals, and awareness. So this is really important. And here are a few key points. Imagination is a powerful faculty that shapes destiny and requires careful, authentic use aligned with clear goals. And it's so powerful that negative imagination leads to negative outcomes, and positive, persistent visualization can manifest desired reality, including health and the financial success, and even things beyond that. So it's important to train one's imagination, and we discussed ways to do it. And training imagination regularly could strengthen it. And yeah, so it's also important to consider that sometimes we, as part of a society, we could be influenced by that society, and we need to preserve ourselves from negative or unwanted influences to be able to really leverage the power of imagination for our own good. So thank you so much for attending today's session. It's been fire, really. And yeah, so Jerome, thank you so much
Thank you, Dr. Miller.
for sharing all those insights and your personal experiences and everything. So
Thank you too as well. God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you. Bye for now.
bye.